But here's some things that we come across a lot that could be hurting your rankings in the maps, right? And some of this is more of a strategy and long-term approach, but you need an office in whatever your main target area is. You need an office located there. Now, what we see is you can kind of rank anywhere from 15 to 20-mile radius. I mean, sometimes it's a little tighter depending on the competition. Sometimes we've seen it pushed out to about 30-mile radius around your office location. But we have clients that do this. If you're truly trying to dominate a market, like Houston, for example, or Miami, Miami, you got Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Like, if you're truly trying to dominate, like we've had clients like, hey, once they're dominating in Miami, let's open up another office in Fort Lauderdale, because there's that 15, 30-mile radius to where you can rank. So I just want to point that out. Like, if you're in Miami, but you want to focus or get most of your work from Fort Lauderdale, then keep that in mind as you set up a new office, or as you think about your expansion strategy, about where you're going to put it. If I was going to open up a restoration company, like I'd be very strategic about where the office is located, where areas I want to grow it out to, because it'll make your life a lot easier when it comes to rankings into the 3-pack. And I kind of already touched on this, but don't do PO boxes anymore. Fake addresses. Google's catching on to it, and like it might work, but the risk is not worth the reward, right? Like, because it might help for a couple of weeks, but as soon as Google, they're going to catch it, you're gone, and you don't want to lose that business overnight. And then inconsistent name, address, phone number profile. This is you might hear it called NAP for short. Name, address, phone number, NAP. That's basically a citation or directory listing. And all that is just your name, address, phone number. And just as an example of that, if you're on Yelp, your Yelp directory listing is a citation, right, or directory. But if for our clients, and if you're wanting to rank in the Google map, you want a lot of relevant citations, but you want your name, address, phone number to be consistent across those properties. So it makes Google, it's easier for Google. If you think about it, there's this bot, crawling and stuff. It's all relevant to that business. It's just easier, because if you think about it, if it sees this name, a different address, different phone number, the bot, is going to be like, well, I don't even know what business this is talking about. I mean, it kind of makes sense if you step back and look at it from that perspective. Don't spam your city name. And actually, I thought about this earlier. I'll show you an example in a second. Don't do, Bob's Restoration and then put -water damage. And yeah, I'm actually going to show you this now, because this is interesting. I was looking at this because we ran into this with one of our clients, and it was kind of bothering me because they were getting beat out by a spam. But then, we stick to our guns. We do white label, SEO, Google My Business stuff, which is tried. It's proven over time, right? Well, they hopped the guy that was getting spammy, and I don't know, it just made us feel good. But just don't do it, because we, not on any of our clients, but I've tested. We have our own probabilities and profiles that we're testing things on, just to make sure we're always in the know what's working. And that stuff will get taken down. So that's why don't do it. You still come across it, and also it still works sometimes, but long term, I would not recommend that. And here, that's why I'm going to show you guys an example real quick. We're going to look at an example in Denver, and this is Denver, Colorado. So if you've been around the restoration world for a while, like this is top 5 most competitive markets in the country, right? It's your Houston, LA, Miami, Denver. So I'm going to do an example search for here in Denver, for water damage. So look at this, and that and if this is we actually know all these guys, and this is a great company too. Nothing against them, but I would not recommend this right here. And see, Google's smart enough. Like, and they have had better rankings, honestly. We watched this. I watched this just to make sure. But look here, All Pro. We were able to get them to jump to #1 by doing it the right way. and because when I see this, it always crosses our minds. Is this a new strategy? Is this working now? But Google knows long term, this is not their business name. And as you can see, doing things the right way, what I'm talking about today in the webinar, buy the book, white label, it'll prove because they weren't number one for this term for a while, right? And we kept doing what we do. Hey, it takes a little time sometimes to kick in, and then boom, they jumped these guys to number one by doing it. And so yes, like you will see people with the keywords in the business name. For a long-term solution, I do not recommend doing that. So it's just a little side note rant, but that's because that a couple of years ago it worked well, and then people kind of quit doing it. Like I think last year, 2019, and then I am kind of starting to see it more and more now. But again, Google's always changing, right? So that's why you got to kind of see. But again, we just went through a whole process with the client on that, and doing it the right way seems to always win long term. So just keep that in mind if you are trying to game the system with your Google My Business name. I would think twice about doing that. And then reviews, right? Like reviews are becoming more and more important. If you're not, just get Google My Business reviews. You should have active plan and strategy in place to be there, because it is a ranking signal to get into the 3-pack. It's not the only, you can't rank solely on reviews alone. But once you get into the 3-pack, the reviews is a huge conversion aspect. It's I know how all this works, and whenever I need a home service provider in my market here in Charleston, South Carolina, like I look at the Google Maps rankings, I look at the reviews, I'll make the call. And I just showed you that apparently 75% of our clients' leads they're getting per month is happening for them too, right? And a lot of people, they look at the 3-pack first, and then whoever gets the call, a lot of times, just because you're number one doesn't always mean you'll get that call. A lot of times it'll be based on the number of reviews and the review rate. So obviously you want to focus on reviews as you go, but you got to get to the, people have to find you first, and then, the reviews will kind of follow. But I think even starting out, getting 5-star reviews, taking care of your clients should be a part of the process as you go along. Hope you got value out of that video. If you're looking for more ideas and strategies for better ways to market your water, mold, or fire damage restoration business online, you can go to restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there we have a free checklist you can download. It's called the Ultimate Online Marketing Guide for Damage Restoration Contractors. And there you'll be able to get the latest strategies that are working now to really increase your lead flow online. You can probably even 5 to 10x the number of leads you're getting per month from internet marketing. So there should be a link below, restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there you can download the checklist for free of charge, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.